Taking a look at all the latest where you are now. It's the ITV News.
Hello, I'm Duncan Golestani with the main stories in London. A man has been charged after a double stabbing in Brentford, which left a 20-year-old dead and an elderly woman in hospital. 37-year-old Norris Henry was charged with the murder of Ali Abukar Ali on Friday evening. The 82-year-old woman, named locally as Betty Walsh, remains in hospital. A fundraiser for Ali's funeral has so far raised more than £50,000. The capital fell silent this morning as it remembered those who have died in conflicts past. The National Remembrance Sunday service in Whitehall was filled with veterans once again, including those driven by cabbies to the cenotaph. In Brixton, people gathered in Windrush Square to honour the 2 million African and Caribbean soldiers who served in the World Wars. Anna Geary reports.
London fell silent, pausing in honour of those who have fought and died in conflict. At the cenotaph, Prince Charles laid a wreath on behalf of the Queen, unable to attend the Remembrance Sunday service after spraining her back. This year's event saw a return of pre-pandemic numbers of crowds and military personnel past and present. This in turn meant the capital's cabbies were back volunteering their time and taxis, driving veterans to and from the parade.
Well, it's well worthwhile to see the old soldiers and, you know, the sacrifices they've made and the pain they're still going through, and they're so proud on the day. It's fantastic. It brings tears to your eyes, really.
For drivers like Dave, it was also a day to reflect on colleagues lost due to COVID-19. Meanwhile, in Brixton, commemorations were held for the 2 million African and Caribbean soldiers who served in World War I and II. Professor Gus John led a ritual known as a libation. The pouring of alcohol as an offering to those who paid the ultimate sacrifice. There was traditional African war music as part of the ceremony too, which was attended by veterans including Neil Flanagan. Neil was born in Jamaica but travelled to England in 1943 to join the RAF.
I served in Bomber Command, and as you know, when the bombs were falling, we had the bombs falling on us in London, and I had to still be on my airplanes working, and people were dying all around us.
Neil says he was proud to attend the event today, but thinks more should be taught in schools when it comes to West Indies war efforts.
The minorities of this country, we still are not publicised, we're still not part of the real country, both in work, education and knowledge.
On the centenary of the poppy, all across the capital were glad to be back, remembering the fallen once again. Anna Geary, ITV News.
Let's take a look at some of the day's sports results now.
For the love of the game. eBay sponsors ITV Regional Sports Reports.
Chelsea women beat Manchester City 4-0 in the Women's Super League, bringing the Blues within a point of Arsenal for the top spot. Jessie Fleming scored in the second minute, followed by Sam Kerr on the stroke of half-time. There were 2 further goals in the first 10 minutes of the second half from Fran Kirby and Magdalena Eriksson. West Ham drew with Reading 2-2, despite the Hammers being 2-0 up at half-time, with goals from Lisa Evans and Grace Fisk. Abby Lee Stringer gave Reading their opportunity to make a comeback with an own goal in the 70th minute before Emma Harries scored the equaliser in added time. And in the FA Women's Championship, Watford ended 1-1 against Sunderland, whilst Crystal Palace won 3-2 against Charlton Athletics Ladies. All right, it's been a bit of a grey Sunday out there, hasn't it? Let's have a look at the forecast now for the coming week. Here's James Wright.
There, good evening. Weather-wise, we're looking at a settled spell of weather. Doesn't always mean sunny. The reason for that is these Atlantic fronts are sort of moving into our neck of the woods and then just dying away. It's going to give us more cloud from time to time, but I don't think expect much in the way of wet weather. There is a bit of a change later on in the week, though. I'll talk about that in a moment. As far as this evening and overnight goes, a few breaks in the cloud. The cloud's quite high, and where we do see the breaks, expect to see some mist and fog patches developing. Quite widespread, could turn up pretty much anywhere. And as far as temperatures go, well, a little bit cooler than the last couple of nights, but temperatures down to 7 to 10 Celsius, hopefully frost-free because of that mist. So tomorrow morning, then Monday, starting the week on a bit of a grey note, lots of cloud around, and if it's not cloudy, expect some mist. But into the afternoon, a bit like today, the cloud is quite high, so when you do see breaks, it will actually feel quite pleasant. Temperatures still on the mild side and not particularly breezy, so 12 or 13 Celsius. If you get a bit of autumn sunshine, actually not feeling too bad. Looking ahead to next week, well, Tuesday, again, much like Monday, fair bit of cloud, but then eventually these fronts will move through, and that a cold front will actually help scrape away all the clouds. So whilst it'll be a bit cooler and potentially a bit breezier, there should be more in the way of sunshine and temperatures starting to recover once again.
And that's how London's looking. We're back with the news, travel and weather in Good Morning Britain from 6 a.m. But for now, from all of us here, enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening. Bye-bye.